إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Today's class is the Arabic class, class number 5 at ABDUS-SALAAM. الكتاب محمد هذا يا ياسر؟ لا، هذا كتاب محمد. أين كتاب محمد؟ هو على المكتب هناك. أين دفتر أمار؟ هو على مكتب المدرس. قلم من هذا يا ياسر؟ قلم من هذا يا علي؟ هذا قلم مدرسي. أين حقيبة مدرسي؟ هي تحت المكتب. Now this dars consists of 5 points. It consists of 5 different points. Now you have the first point, which is mudaf wa mudaf ilayhi, which means mudaf means the thing that's being possessed, and mudaf ilayhi means the possessor. For example of this, you have the two words kitabun, muhammadun. But if you want to change this and make this mudaf wa mudaf ilayhi, you will say kitabu muhammadin. Kitabu muhammadin. And there's a i'rab, which i'rab means the ending of the words, the changing of the ending of the words. And you know that the words originally have tanween, but when you're dealing with mudaf wa mudaf ilayhi, the mudaf has one dhamma, as you see in the example that I brought. Before you change it to mudaf ilayhi, it's kitabun. But once you want to make this book somebody's book, you say kitabu. And the possessor gets a kasra. Originally, the word has a dhamma, which I brought an example, Muhammadun. When you want to say that this book is Muhammad's, you say Muhammadin. Kitabu Muhammadin. Kitabu Muhammadin. And the proof from the Quran for this point, mudaf ilayhi, which you will find in Surah Nasir, which is a surah in Juz Amma, one of the short surahs in Juz Amma, the really short surahs in Juz Amma. إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ. إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ. Nasr is the mudaf, and Allah is the mudaf ilayhi. Allah is the possessor of Nasr, is the possessor of help. So you'll say Nasru Lahi. And by you seeing that Nasr has one dhamma and Allah has a kasra, now you know that Allah is the possessor of help. Alhamdulillah. This is the benefit of learning the Arabic language, and this is why it's wajib for us to learn the Arabic language, for us to understand the Quran wa Sunnah. The Quran wa Sunnah. Once you read the surah, which I know the majority of all the listeners know Surah Nasr, when you come to this ayah where you say إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ, you will know that Allah is the possessor of help. Not just reading the translation and saying, oh, this verse means when will the help of Allah come. Just by reading it, the English translation. But then you will know by your understanding of the Arabic language that Allah is the possessor of help. Now you know from reading this ayah, and that you can contemplate on this ayah, and you will know that Allah is the possessor of help. So now when you need help, you won't always depend on man to help you. You will call on Allah to help you, because now you understand from this verse that Allah brought in His book that He is the possessor of help. He is the owner of help. He's the one that gives the help. Alhamdulillah. And the second point dealing with this lesson is harfun nida wa munada. Harfun nida wa munada. Harfun nida is the letter of calling, which is ya. And the letter in munada is the thing that's which being called. Now, for example, you have the word Nasirun. The word Nasirun. And then you add it. Then you add the ya on it. You say Nasiru. Add one dhamma. And the qaida for that is Inna isma alladhi ya'ti ba'da ya lahu dhammatul wahida. Indeed, the noun which comes after ya gets one dhamma. Originally, the word Nasir is dhamma tanween. Nasirun has dhamma tanween. But once you add that ya, the harful nida, that ya, then it becomes Nasiru. It becomes Nasiru. And before I bring the other point about this harful nida and munada, I'm going to go back to the lesson where it gives you examples of these two qaidas, these 2 points of this lesson, which is mudaf, mudaf ilay, and harful nida wa munada. It gives you example in the first part. It gives you that exact thing in the first sentence of the chapter. Kitabu Muhammadin, harful nida, mudaf, mudaf ilay. Hada ya yasiru, harful nida wa munada. It gives you both of them points in the first sentence, which we know that at the beginning of kitab is harful, subhanallah, it is harful istifham. That's harful istifham. We know that the alif is harful istifham. Kitabu Muhammadin, mudaf, mudaf ilayhi. Hada ya harfu nida, yasiru munada. And now we go back to the points of this lesson that we see now. I'rabu. In the beginning I said i'rab means the changing of the vowels at the beginning of the end of the words. I'rabu munada wa mudafu. The i'rab, what is the grammar definition of the thing that's being called and the possessed, the thing that's being possessed? When you have them two in one word, you have mudaf and you have munada and you have mudaf in one word, and it says i'rabu mudafa, munada wa mudafu mansubu wa alamatu nasbu. That the i'rab of the caller and the possessed, that it becomes mansub, meaning it gets a fatha. Mansub is the grammatic terminology for a word that ends with a fatha. He said, and the sign of it is nasbun, it is a fatha. And for example of that is ya abdallahi. Ya harfu nida, abda mudaf, Allahi mudaf ilay. Now you have harfu nida wa munada and mudaf ilayhi in one combination in one sentence. When you have it like that, then the harfu nida comes, then the mudaf comes, and that mudaf gets a fatha. The mudaf gets a fatha. The mudaf gets a fatha. That's why instead of saying ya abdullahi, you say ya abda, ya abdullahi. And that's a real beneficial thing, because you see a lot of people, if they didn't know that, they would say ya abdullahi. Because originally the qaida for harfu nida wa munada is that the munada gets a dhamma when the ya comes. But in the case when the harfu, the munada is also mudaf, then it gets a fatha. Ya Abdullah, Ya Abdallah, not Ya Abdullah, Ya Abdallah. Subhanallah al-Azim. This Arabic language is beautiful, mashallah. Now you have another point number 3 of this lesson,